camera, so if this guy calls in, he can control it and see if he can figure out what's wrong with it.
Okay.
And you know, Khenpo's talk today was so relevant to me because here I am obsessing over this goofy cyber stuff, you know. And I just said, you know what? You know, I spent 4 hours on this already. And it cost me $40 to have this guy come and do this. I said, you know, I'd spend more than that.
You spend the opportunity to meditate.
I gotta have peace of mind. Is my peace of mind worth $40 and having a high definition camera?
It looks like the answer is yes.
Maybe so. I think so.
Next time.
So what is going on there?
We are here, Khenpo.
We're at a party.
We're applying your teaching today.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
We're all giving up cyberspace. We're all going to give up computers.
Right. I returned my returning my smartwatch. I can't figure the darn thing out. So
I know Lance just hold 2 hours to hold his phone doing something, play with the text messages. He didn't let it go. So you're talking about that?
I'm going to turn my camera off now.
no pouting allowed.
I thought Khenpo was watching somebody else.
His eyes are everywhere.
Yes.
Can do it.
Don't off the camera, off your phone.
Well, this is on my computer. I'm using my computer.
Yeah, use your computer, just off your phone.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kambalam.
Good Khenpo.
Hi, yes, hello everyone. So we ready or not yet?
I'm ready.
Everyone. People are not yet, still they're coming in.
Okay, well, then we can wait for the latecomers.
I think so. Who has the questions? We wait, latecomers, yes.
No, if I did, I forgot it.
I see.
What page are we on?
Page number, give
99.
which use
481 of the PowerPoint.
In the book, we're on page 100. 481, 482 in the on the slideshow.
Lance, new camera?
Yes.
It looks good.
Oh yeah, you.
I can't adjust it though, is the problem. I'm waiting for this computer guy to call me and be able to help fix it.
We can see whole thing. Your.
Yes, you can see my room.
Everything,
Wow.
yes, very clearly.
Yes.
Oh. That's amazing. Your generosity, you show everything.
Well, I didn't want to. I'm not trying to show off or anything like that.
I recognize it. That is all your generosity.
It's nice to see.
Yeah.
In
That's
fact,
where all the creativity goes on.
yes.
Okay, so anyone has a questions, we can discussion couple minutes. We can wait latecomers.
Yes, I have two concerns.
Okay.
The
What?
first is a further discussion of the mind, and the second is of Buddha nature. No doubt it's been gone into in some detail in the past, but I'm still not clear on either one of them.
So I didn't hear clearly. Sorry about.
The mind, Buddha nature,
Yes. Yes.
yes, there's been some discussion in the past, but it's still not clear to me.
So you mean you don't recognize your mind, or you don't recognize Buddha nature?
I would say that speaking for myself, neither one.
Oh. So do you know you have a mind?
Yes, well, that's an interesting question.
Yes. So there's one example. The long time ago, one yogi has someone come into us teaching. What did I forget? That's like what he said. What he said? He says something similar. I know. That is a really good example, but I forget what he said. It's what they said. I forget, but when I remember, I'll let you know. Okay?
Please do.
Yeah. Okay, so I think everyone is there. No questions, other questions? And
I have a question about the Archie text. Is that okay? Or is it another
yeah,
time?
what? It's okay. What Archie?
Oh, on page 20 of the Archie that we use in the morning, it says dispel dangerous talk. And I don't really know what to picture in my mind when they say dangerous talk.
Dangerous talk.
It's page 20.
Yeah, but I don't have the sadhana. I don't know.
Oh, okay, we can discuss that later. I'll find it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay, so I cannot give it two questions. I cannot give both answer.
I have a thought
Yes.
about mind and the true nature. So if
Yes.
we have a primordial wisdom as luminosity, and the luminosity, we can be aware of it when we are in the state of emptiness. Otherwise, we are in dualistic thinking, which is the mind, right? So we have the mind, which would be perceived as separate from the luminosity of primordial wisdom. And because when we become aware of primordial wisdom, that's like Buddha field is everybody's mind, everybody's primordial wisdom is one field. Like I always think about unified field theory, that everything that exists in the cosmos are waves of light, and it's all, that's why I think we have different Buddhas, because waves are different frequencies, different vibrations, right? So then we have emanation at this frequency, emanation at that frequency, Buddha field. So if we have primordial wisdom and an awareness of it, we become aware of it only when we're in the state of emptiness. But the body, mind, speech are part of the human condition. Anyway, that's my thought.
Okay. So that's answer also. Next time I'll give it try next time.
Okay, I have one for your research.
Oh my goodness. Yes, where is it?
Can you? So I always think 0 point field is something like the Dharmakaya or like emptiness. So if you're doing research, can you look into that?
Look into what?
This thing scientists call the 0 point field.
Oh. So what that means? Zero.
I don't know. I think it's something like emptiness. Anyway, just
Okay.
another one for the list.
Okay. Okay, so I think we're going to the teaching page 100.
Quantum.
They're all questions is very deep, so I think about more before I give answer. No, I cannot give answer right now. So when it comes to my answer, then I'll let you know. Okay.
Thank you.
Take time. Maybe it takes years to know. Don't know. Maybe I have to enlightenment to give answer. Okay, so 100 page 100 is the book. So now we're going to do the defects of dualistic grasping and the necessity of dissolving duality. So no defect of dualistic grasping. So that's to say, we use that talking about no dualistic. That's the problem. So that's why we can't get. Actually, the answer is this defect of dualistic. Whatever you're thinking, like you're saying words, like thoughts, it's always dualistic. We're talking about no dualistic. That's why it's hard to understand. Okay, and the necessity of dissolving duality. Dissolving duality. So most important necessity of dissolving duality. If dissolve duality, then the all answer is there. That is a big answer. Until that, really hard to get answer, because our mind is dualistic, thoughts going on. That's why we have thinking, like wanted to know something, but actually the reality is no dualistic. So if you want to get 100% good answer, necessity of dissolve duality. The fourth subsection of the main section identifies the defects of dualistic grasping and shows the necessity of dissolving duality. The first line of the fifth verses of the Thara prayer reads, the absolute nature of mind is self-arising, non-door Buddha wisdom. So this is the thing about this, the absolute nature of mind is self-arising. Self-arising, no door Buddha wisdom, no door. no subject, no object there. So usually what we thought, we always just thinking about the subject and the object. That's why we can't really get into this, no door. It's harder to understand. No door Buddha wisdom. The meaning of mind is self-arising is that mind is not something new to be found or something fabricated. So here is talking about mind self-arising. Self-arising is like not something comes new something. It's that mind is not something new to be found. It's always there, but we don't recognize, or something fabricated. No, my nature is not finding new, not fabricated. So actually, good example that has, like usually the Gachen Rinpoche use this lots. Example is the ice and water, So mind is ice, water is nature, mind nature. So then how you can find the mind and the nature means, separate or not separate, or difference or no difference. You think about yourself. Mind and mind nature is different or same. You think about ice, water is the same or different. So what are you going to say? Not separate, right? Because you take out ice, no water there. But ice is, you cannot say it's water because it's ice. Just temporarily, it's different. The ice is mind. You usually be talking about the mind. You say you don't know the mind. Mind is the same as ice. The Buddha nature is the same as water. So that's the one example. And then, so where is mind? Where is Buddha nature? So people maybe don't know where is their own mind. So then I remember this guy, the yogi, what he says. Someone come in to ask the yogi, give teaching. So he said, find yourself. Find self. He said he don't know who's self. He cannot find. So then the yogi says, why you wanted to receive teaching? Who want to receive teaching? He said, I want. Okay, that is the self. Okay, so then who wanted to today, like, join in the zone, wanted to receive it. That is the who wanting something, wanted to do that. That is mind. That not the physical form body thing like that, The mind, you found your mind. Who wanting, that is your mind. Make sense or no? Okay. So you have to find yourself. Sometimes like you lose yourself, you hit here, okay? Telopa hit shoes. So you hit yourself, you can find yourself. And you can find your mind. So some if hit, they say, oh, I'm pain, then I pain. So who recognize that? Your mind recognize. That is your mind. You find your mind. So that is the same as the eyes, not nature. Nature is like water. So more beyond, deeper than that. Nature is. So that's kind of like I can give you an example. Then we can see what he says. Maybe you go more teachings, you recognize more, understand. That is, mind is not something new to be born or something fabricated. This self-arising mind has always been pro-morally the indivisibility of luminosity, emptiness. So now think about, here is the something fabricated, means like not the nature. So that is the same as eyes. So mind is deluded. So that is called fabricated, something fabricated, I think. So the what means, our mind is deluded. Then you don't see the nature because it's deluded. That is called something fabricated. Our mind is like that. Right now, ordinary mind. Ordinary mind is like that. But nature is not, something fabricated. Fabricated.
Fabricated.
Fabricated. Okay.
Fabricated. It's fabric.
Fabricated.
Yeah. Make something.
Things.
Man-made.
So, made, yeah.
Man-made, yeah.
Man-made. Ice is who made ice because it's cold weather create ice. Ice is weather, cold condition made. Yeah. So our mind who make deluded because it's ignorance. Make deluded. So that's why mind is right now is like ordinary mind is not nature, same as eyes. Nature mind is the same as water, not fabricated. This self-arising mind, so then this self-arising mind has always been pro-modally the indivisibility of luminosity and emptiness. Always been there means, like see, even the waters become ice. Water is always being the indivisibility. Water is ice is water, indivisibility, but you don't recognize, you don't see water there. You see the ice, but that ice is water. Water is indivisibility, always be there. So you have to know like that way, then of luminosity and emptiness. Mind is always there. Even your mind is deluded, but it's there. Then you say, oh, this is deluded. Where is nature? You cannot find it. You deluded mind take out. You cannot find the nature. You take out the ice block. Where is water? There's no water there. Make sense or no? Are you good? Okay. This nature of mind is pro-modally free from arising, ceasing, and dribbling. So then that nature is always there. So see, water is being ice, but water ice, even though you see the ice, but water is always there. You cannot make separate water and ice. In the Mahamudra Apidesha on the bank of Ganges River, it is stated. So no, this Telopa said to Naropa, this one, to be beyond all duality of subject and object is the king of all views. So to be beyond duality. So no, think about it. Your mind is beyond the duality or not? Not, right? Your mind is not beyond the duality. So see, our mind is the same as ice block. So not water yet. It's ice block, but water is actually ice is water. Water is ice, but no, you cannot see the water because it's already condition create ice. You cannot see the water there. So that means to be beyond or duality. So our mind is duality. No, the nature mind is beyond the duality of subject and object. That is the king of all views. Very profound. King of all the views means beyond all the duality of subject and object. No subject, no object. So that is the natural mind. Then, as expressed above, so no, here is talking about no subject, no objects. What means no subject, no object? So more explain that sentence. Since it is cannot be found to devour anywhere, there can be no inherent existence of an external object. So that's why you cannot find your mind. You know, cannot be found to devour anywhere. Where is your mind? You look to yourself like all the way crown to feet. You cannot find your mind. Not possible to find your mind. So that's why cannot be found any to devour anywhere. There can be no inherent existence of an external object. There can be no inherent, so not exist inherently, existence of an external object. So all external object also not exist, since no conceptual mind can grasp it. There is no inherent existence of an internal grasping object, completely beyond all authors, object, and inner subject. Mind as resting naturally in this absolute nature of suchness itself, in expressing it as it is. This is the king of all the views. So no make sense? If you really find you wanted to find your mind nature, you have to relax, you know, and meditate, and then through the meditation you can find your own experience. Intellectually you thinking about, you know, like think about where is that, which kind like colors, you never can find, not possible to find, because no subject, no object there. Then how can you can find, we already talked this morning, you can find you through the meditation, because it's reality. Completely beyond all outer object and inner subject. Mind has a resting naturally. So if you find your mind, just you have to resting naturally in this absolute nature of suchness itself. In expressing it as it is, this is the king of all the views. Then from the vantage point of mind's nature, so you really log into your mind nature. We are Buddhas, not sentient beings. So you really see your nature. We are all beings Buddha, not sentient beings. Because you log into your nature is not deluded, not dualistic. It's non-conceptual. So the nature is beyond all outer object and inner subject. That's why it's you see your nature then you recognize we are Buddhas, not sentient beings. If you know the ice, is you really know ice is merged, it's become water, no ice there. Ice is no exist there. So however, not recognize that we have always been Buddha. We don't recognize we have been Buddha. We don't recognize because our mind is, object and subject, dualistic thoughts, dualistic. We sentient beings meaninglessly experience the suffering of samsara. For example, so here is, see, ice is here. Ice can freezing and take all sorts of shapes and forms. But in essence, there is nothing in any of those ice sculptures apart from water. So that example is, doesn't matter which kind of form body, your form is like some beings has bigger, some beings are very small, tennis. So doesn't matter which kind of form body, which kind of color, not only human being or animals. So shapes and forms, but in essence, there is nothing in any of those eyes sculpture apart from water. Doesn't matter which kind of form body has, all nature is Buddha. In the same way, no matter how many different appearances arising in the outer world, in essence, they are nothing other than the nature of mind. So all is natural mind, other than nature of mind. However, referring again to the ice example, due to temporary condition of temperature, water and ice appear to be totally separate entities, become is separate entities. In the same way, due to karma and negative emotions, that is, because of self-grasping, the confused perception of dualistic appearance of samsara come to be although there are all kinds of conditions that lead to water freezing, ice has never been devoid of the nature of water. So similarly, no matter how many different kinds of sufferings we experience in the world of samsara, the nature of our mind has never changed, has never been anything other than the essence of pro-motor awareness, the Dharmakaya, the Dharmakaya, the Dombokoba. Dombokoba is the sutra's name. So that section actually, I think it's a good example, mind and ice below, and the water is nature. So there, I think, give you the more just understanding, what the difference is. So before we starting the teaching, so have a question from our Sangha here. So mind and the Buddha nature, they don't know what the difference, they don't recognize. That means like, this actually answer is there or together. I hope understand. And this example is very good. We recognize easily because this all ice is water. So ice is not separate from the water. But why is water is become ice? It's conditions. So cold conditions. Same thing. Why we are Buddha? Why we have become sentient beings? Because it's condition. This all the emotions. So create. Then how can let go emotions. Same is like how to this ice below is merged into the water. You know, that need good condition, warm weather. Same thing, you know, right now our mind is thinking being dualistic, and subject and object, how to recognize, know door, have to practice Dharma. How to practice Dharma, many different levels, many different methods. So create like, you know, the all this meditation is the same as like the, you know, heat murder the ice below. You know, all the practice of Dharma is same as the heat, and murder our self-grasping. So self-grasping is the same as ice below. So we have to release, or we have to melt our self-grasping, use like practice love, compassion, bodhicitta, wisdom. Do you get? Okay, so then next is the Dongpo Bundо. It's Dongpo Bundo, Sutra of the area of trance states. So some world realms are burning in immeasurable fires. But when the sky burns, it remains unchanging. Such is the self-arising pro-moral wisdom. So my nature is the same as the space. All these dualistic thoughts is like just fire can burn object. You know, fire is the same as wisdom. Wisdom burned all these dualistic thoughts. So some world realms is like, you know, we samsara, this worldly samsara, and this all burned. How can burn are burning in immeasurable fire is like immeasurable wisdom. But then the sky burns means like other all dualistic thoughts burnt, but sky is cannot burn. That is like same as nature mind. Burns, it is remains unchanging. So such as the self-arising pro-moral wisdom, as expressed above, the nature of a mind remains the same, never changing. But as the next line of the fifth verse of the Tara prayer reads, mind is never changing, means always there, never lost. So that's why it's called unchanging. Not talking about the, you know, opposite of the impermanent, permanent. So the unchanging means like always there, never going to lost. Always remind there, but it's empty, but always there. So that's why I call it unchanging. Then Nisan Rinpoche Pachachi. Yet because of habitual grasping to duality, our mind is like actually self-arising emptiness, but we don't recognize it yet because of habitual grasping duality. The true nature of phenomena is known through wisdom awareness. But not recognizing that all kinds of appearance arising out of the confusion of dualistic perception come about. So up there is we talk about some world realms are burning in immeasurable fire. So fire can burn all this object, everything. Same like that, you know, wisdom burns all these dualistic thoughts. All kinds of appearance arising out of the confusion or dualistic perception, all can burn out, come about. So then if dualistic, dualistic confusion perception all burned out, we recognize the true nature of phenomena is non-door wisdom awareness. If we wanted to recognize that, so we have to burn out this all kinds of appearance arising out of the confusion. Let go of dualistic perception come about. This confused way of perceiving reality is not causeless. So we have accumulated, okay, this confuse. Where does it come from? This way of perceiving reality is not causeless. We have accumulated all kinds of karmic imprints in our mind. And because of grasping at objective reality, we develop attachment and clinging to ourselves. Due to that, we become confused, mistakenly perceiving the 6 realms of beings that arising in a dream-like appearance. So that's all is actually section is we shared in the Pardo teaching. So in the Pardo, why we have this kind of, you know, dualistic perception or deluded frightening and different kind, you know, perceptions arise in the Pardo. The reason is because that's all we create, we have accumulated all kinds of karmic imprints. That's karmic imprints in our mind. So that's why they arise in the Pardo. And because of grasping, so where's the cause? It comes from grasping at objective reality. We develop attachment, clinging to ourselves. Due to that, we have become confused, mistakenly perceiving these 6 realms. Then always this 6 realm is there of beings that arise in a dream-like appearances. In the Parmana Varaktika, it is stated. So this is a logic book, Buddha's logic book. Yesterday I talked about, and Buddha has logic. The logic book is Nalanda University. The two scholars have, you know, different subject. They share the teaching. So the Chandakirti, you know, who is the Chandakirti and Nalanda University? Chandakirti is philosopher. He wrote the logic book, so he used these words. He used these words is if there is a self, then there must be cognition of other. Long as we have I and self, then they always have other. Yeah, so you don't have self, then they don't have others. Buddhas, actually, they don't have others because it's not self there, you know, self is gone. Self is gone, no others. Long as we have a self, then they have others. So long as we have a right, we have a left. Yeah, so long as we have a son, then we have a father. So like that, you know, always related to each other. From the duality of self and other, Then from the duality of self and other, what happens is attachment and aversion arise. Attach is self and aversion for others. From the interconnection with these two, all whys arise. So then from these two, attachment, aversion, from the interconnection, so attachment and aversion, with these two, all whys arise. All this miserable is arise. All the suffering is arise. Thus, as long as we have attachment, aversion, we will be bound to the realm of samsara. That's the third line. Third line is Jatar Sechang Jingbanam. Beings are bound no matter what they do. So that's the third line is beings are bound no matter what they do. Because as long as we have attachment and aversion, then we were bound to the realm of samsara. Beings are bound no matter what they do. Doesn't matter what they do, we are bound up in the samsara. So if the case is there, namely grasping at the inherent self of the individual and intrinsic self nature of phenomena. So then if the cause is the, namely grasping at the inherent self of the individual and the intrinsic self nature of phenomena. So long as we have these two, then no matter what one does, one will stay bound in samsara. So we are bound in samsara. Then what we have to know, because we have to realize the selflessness of a person and the selflessness of phenomena. Until that we bound up in the samsara. Whatever we do, no choice. So I share lots this selflessness of a person, selflessness of phenomena. Also, we already talked before lots. And here's it, grasping at an inherent self of individual. So you have to recognize what that means. Grasping at an inherent self of the individual. So that is like I and my. So long as you have that, then have others, because long as you have self, then all attachments arise. They attach to self, hatred to others. So here, at grasping at an inherent self of the individual is just generally thinking about whole your body and whole your five aggregates. You don't have to think about feeling or perceptions or body or anything separate. Just whole thing is like I. So that is of course called the self of the individual. Grasping at an inherent self of the individual. So we usually say I means you don't think about I means my feeling or my form body or my conscious or my perceptions. You don't think about looking for this separate from your far aggregate. Just generally whole thing, far aggregate. You don't think about one by one. Just whole thing is called grasping at own inherent self of the individual. So long as you have that, you have emotion. So now we have this Hinayana tradition, Mahayana tradition. What that become two Mahayana, Hinayana traditions? Hinayana thing, grasping at own inherent self of the individual, long as existed that one, we cannot get liberation. So Hinayana tradition means we have to get rid of this grasping inherent self of the individual. So you get rid of that, you recognize selflessness of a person, you can liberate. Then Hinayana tradition, you don't have to think about selflessness of phenomena. That thing only you have to know this one. That thing is like you get, you know, you have to get realization, selflessness of a person. So you have to realize the selflessness of a person, then no emotion arise, the thing that we can get, you know, liberate. The Mahayana thing, you know, that's only not enough. Self-grasping at own inherent self of the individual, if you recognize selflessness of phenomena, so you can become free from samsara, but still you cannot enlightenment, because due to an intrinsic self-nature of phenomena. So you have to realize the selflessness of phenomena. Then no matter what one does, one will stay bound in samsara. So long as we have these two obscurations, we are stuck in samsara. The obscuration of the klasha or negative emotions bend one to samsara, and the obscuration comes from the grasping at the self of the individual. So there's a section is actually we shared like already a couple of weeks ago, more details than this. So now I remember we talked already up there lots, these two things. So then we talk about two kind of different afflictive emotion, you know. We already talked the last couple of weeks before the Pardo teaching. So this is just very short information again here. The obscuration of the klasha or negative emotions. So we have two obscurations. This negative emotion bend one to samsara, and those obscuration come from the grasping at the self of the individual. So that's the reason we have to get realization, selflessness of a person. Why we are stuck in samsara? Because we have a self grasping at the self of the individual. So how to we, you know, get rid of this self? Here is just a, you know, self of the grasping at the self of the individual. How to get rid of that? We have to meditate the selflessness of a person. Have to look to ourselves. So where is the I? Where is the self? You know, you can do that. Meditate and close eye. You know, like look all the way your crown to feet. Where is I? Where is self? Look to yourself. You cannot find any part of your body self and I exist. So then we meditated that also helpful, really helpful. Sometimes we have fears. Where is this fears come from? Look to yourself. This all fears is come from grasping at the self of the individual. But then look to yourself, where is that? You cannot find. You cannot see, you cannot find, then you can release all the fears. These meditations you can do often and often all the time. Just close eye, look to yourself, where is eye? And then your eyes not exist. Just meditate like that. Then that is called selflessness of a personal meditation. That is actually selflessness of a personal meditation is reality. This grasping at the self of the individual is a delusion. Because we have a so strong self, that's why we have this delusion. And actually, this grasping at the self of the individual does not exist. Where is exist? You look to yourself. Think about, example, this fingers is self and I. But you can be lose this finger, still you have self. Then that means this finger is not self. So you can be lose this thumb, still you have self. That means this thumb is not self. So you can think about this hand is whole thing is like self. My hand, if something hit here is painful because due to the self, one day in this hand has like cancer or something going on. So if you don't get rid of this hand, going to affect the whole your body, or yourself already give up this hand. So easily get rid of this hand, whole thing. Because then that means like this whole, your arm, this whole hand is not self. If this is a self, then you cannot get rid of. So we can get rid of if you're going to have something like in the disease in your hand and going to affect your whole body, then doctor when say, okay, you have big problem your arm, this area, if you don't get rid of here and whole your body is going to affect it, then self already give up right away there. So you can get rid of your hand because they already self is give up already. That means your hand is not self, arm is not self. So if you get it out, still self is there, I is there. Then okay, right hand is not self, then left hand is self, of course not. Left hand also not self. It's the same as the right hand. Then think about, okay, which is yourself? Your air cannot be self. Without air, people have still you have self. This hair cannot be self. Then your eyes cannot be self. Many people no eyes. Nose cannot be self. Some didn't have a nose, still have a self. So lips, mouth, or you look to your whole body, there no any self is exist. That means the whole thing is a delusion. Whole thing is a delusion. We don't recognize that. So you meditate, then look to yourself, oh, I is not exist in your whole body. You meditate, become meditation is strong and strong, and then you're not really longer attached to your body, but you have a body, you're not really attached to your body. Then that time, even something going on, not going to pain, not going to pain, no suffering. So that is called selflessness of personal realization. And this arhat has realized selflessness of a person, so they don't have suffering. Even someone cut here, they're not painful. Someone give a massage left hand, someone cut the left arm. Same as the tree is cutting. You know, tree branch is cutting. They don't have painful because they have selflessness of a person realized. So then, that time, no attachment into your body. So you don't have then attachment into your body, no self, then no others, no hatred to others. So you call self-liberation. That time is called self-liberation. Then when think about it, when you get in the Pardo, you don't have these delusions, you don't have fears. So we have a self, that's why we have fears, we have suffering, we have pain. Actually, this whole self is delusion, not exist. And if we don't recognize it, we don't get realization, selflessness of a person, but you meditate yourself, you can release fears, you can release anger, you can release attachment. It's helpful right away there, benefits. You know, sometimes like strong anger arise. Why is anger arise? Because someone make you difficulty, someone telling you harsh words, someone spread out bad words for you, or someone, you know, harming for you. That's why you upset, anger, and then you low to yourself, meditate, like low to yourself, where is I? So you cannot find yourself. The anger is, whose anger? Whose anger? No one can be anger because you are not existed there. Self is not there. Where is anger come from? No anger there. Anger also cannot be there. So you meditate that you can release your anger. Then of course sometimes you get fears. And at that time just close your eye, look to yourself. Who's fear? No one fear. It's always deluded. But we don't recognize. If you don't do that, always we have fears. So we have to practice. When you have fears, when you have angers, when you have emotions, just relax. If you even you don't go into the Mahamudra meditation, just look to yourself. Where is I? Simple method. So you cannot find I and the self. Then all these fears, anger, emotions naturally release. It's great to do like that, you know, meditate when you have fear. So of course we always have a fear due to our self-grasping. Long as we have self-grasping, fears, emotions, endless. Always there, comes, goes, comes, goes. Then you meditate the selflessness of a person all the time. Just when this arises, you just look to yourself. You can also release these fierce emotions. You release these fierce emotions, you naturally get peace. So that teaching is the first statement, Buddha first teaching. The Buddha first teaching is talk about the peace. So you use this practice, you get peace naturally because you release emotions. And the main point is all this Buddha's teaching is subsumed in the three things: peace, compassion, wisdom. So all this basic teaching is peace. Mahayana teaching is compassion. Vajrayana teaching is wisdom. So we want to create peace, then we have to use these basic teachings. no harming for other beings, they also no lose peace. We also get peace. If you harm for others, then there, you know, there are no peace. We also no peace, because it's everything is related to each other. So same is like, see, right now you can see the news, like just on the news, like what are going on there. It's no one peace, you know, everyone creates problems. So because it's harming for each other, you know, harming for each other. Both are lose peace. No one is a winner there. No one is a winner. It's people are crazy, you know, people are crazy due to emotion, it's self. So that's why think about this, meditate, you know, selflessness of a person. You can go all these emotions. When you meditate the selflessness of a person, then we're not really going to harm anyone, because then naturally we get peace, others peace. So actually in this world talk about peace, but this peace is talk about the peace. The peace talking is a result. Where is peace come from? You have to follow the Buddha's teaching. The Buddha giving teaching is causes of peace, causes of compassion, causes of wisdom. But no, we want result. No one talk about cause. No one create causes of peace, you know. So that's we understand, and you study these teachings. So then, of course, this problem or the races or this, like people say, oh, he did races, I this, like this, all going on is self. Actually, all is based on the self. So you meditate the selflessness of a person. The races is not exist. Races or something that is not exist. Caste is not exist. And then human beings, we think about, oh, we are human being, animal, they also not exist. So we recognize that, of course, selflessness of a person. This all problems come from the grasping at the self of the individual. The subtle obscuration to omniscience, which comes from grasping at an intrinsic self-nature of phenomena. So then subtle level grasping is come from is self-nature of phenomena, intrinsic self-nature of phenomena. That's the reason we have to meditate the selflessness of phenomena. So you meditate the selflessness of phenomena, then grasping at intrinsic self-nature of phenomena. How to meditate that one? Then we have to meditate interdependent. Have to recognize everything is interdependent. Everything is emptiness. So you realize everything is emptiness, then no more grasping at an intrinsic self-nature of phenomena. Also, being the sentient beings, and these subtle obscurations are there under the arising of the Vajra like samadhi. So now also being the sentient beings means like these two obscurations, being all sentient beings, and those subtle obscurations are there under the rising of the Vajra like samadhi, means under 10th level primitive Buddha. So all this subtle level obscuration is there. So which comes into play only after one has attained the path of seeing. So all the way, like first we need to enter 10th level Bodhisattva, 10th level Bodhisattva, between this subtle obscurations are there, are under the arising of Vajra like Samadhi, which comes into play only after one has attained the path of seeing. Enter seeing path to all the way 10th level Bodhisattva, have like these subtle obscurations. But no gross obscurations. So no, Lami chapter soul, mother of non-door wisdom, please protect us. Non-door wisdom, we already talked a lot, so this mostly just today's topic is non-door wisdom. The entrance to the Bodhisattva's way of life, Buddha Charya Avatara reads. So this is the middle way of Bodhisattva. Shantidevas said this one. What Shantideva says, at the time when the matter and the immaterial did not abide before the mind, at that time, since there is no other object or is completely pacified into the non-referential state. So Shantideva said this quote. Do you know this way of Bodhisattva has 10 chapters? So this word is in the 9th chapter. So 9th chapter is wisdom chapter. So what happened is Shantideva only talked about this way of Bodhisattva teaching. He didn't have any other books. So the story is like Shantideva was in the Nalanda University. There's Nalanda University didn't recognize he is the scholar. They don't know he is the scholar. They don't know Shantideva is a realizer. Shantideva practiced Manjushri. So he has completely realization. There, Nalanda University, no one knows. Then Shantideva is looks like kind of, not really great monk, I think. So he also don't follow the law and the rules there. He didn't join the teaching. He don't participate. And so looks like he's so lazy, very lazy. They said he's sleeping, eating, and then just go restroom. That 3 things he does every day, like no any other than that. So this Shantideva Chandakirti has both have very similar this story, Shantideva. Then Shantideva doesn't want to do anything. This Nalanda University wanted to fire Shantideva. So then they talk about Abbott in the Nalanda University, that this organizer, like who's the charge in Nalanda University, that went to see the Abbott, talk about telling the Abbott, we wanted to fire Shantideva. So then, no, I think that is like they talk about Chandakirti. They went to talk to Abbott. But what happened? This one is they're just discussions. Then there's we wanted to fire Shantideva. He cannot stay in the temple. He cannot use the offering things because he don't do, practice Dharma. They say we have to fire him. Then they have to good reason to fire him. So that discussion together, they say they come up very good idea. So which idea is okay? So we let every month have to teach one by one. Who in the Nalanda University, we let everyone teach because we had to push everyone is study very hard. They have to put more effort for study. We let everyone teach one by one. So then they did that. They make that rules. Also, they make the throne, and then they're pointing one by one. You know, today you teach, tomorrow, like maybe after 1 hour, 1 hour, something. You know, they make the rules. So then, of course, that first I think they who know the teachings, the professionals talk to teachings. Then they're pointing that because they want to fire the Shantideva, they point to him, you know, you have to teach. So Shantideva accepted. He's accepted. They are very suppressing. They say why he accepted. He don't know Dharma. He didn't say no. Why he accepted. Then there, of course, the big throne. The reason is that thing he cannot get up in the throne. He don't have courage to, you know, sit in the throne. So that's why they make the throne. And then everyone comes. Shantideva also, everyone come in there. There's Lord Shantideva is not there, but that thing he's not coming because he's not going to teach. That thing he going runway. You know, that is their method. You know, he tried to their runway. They don't want to say, okay, you cannot stay here. They wanted to runway. That thing is runway, and everyone looking on the door area. But actually, he sit in the throne. You know, no one knows how he get in the throne. In the throne already. So then what he says, you wanted to listening already, Buddha talked, or you wanted to hear something Buddha never shared before something. But never means like not to follow the book, you know. Of course, the teaching is actually Buddha, same the Buddha's teaching, but not in the book. That means like something you wanted to hear not in the book, or you just want to hear something from in the book. So they say, oh yeah, we want to hear not in the book. You know, no one told something before. So then he chant this all way of Bodhisattva, beginning all the way come to in this statement. When he get in this statement, he become above the throne and up, is flew gone in the space, gone. See, that's why this you read this one. See, at the time when the matter and the immaterial do not abide before the mind, at that time, since there is no other object or is completely pacified into no referential state. He went to no referential state. Okay. So then there has two groups, like mainly then that time is like they're memorized because what Shantideva talks this way of Bodhisattva, they memorize, they put in the writing down everything. So they become two groups. They say they have 8 chapters. Some say they have 9 chapters. And they say some say 9 chapters, some say 8 chapters. Then they cannot be agree each other. So then they say we have to find him again. So we have to find the Shantideva. So then they went to everywhere looking for Shantideva. Finally, they found Shantideva. So Shantideva said there has a 9 chapter who says that is correct. Then another rest, you know, I already wrote in the pieces of paper in my room. So that is like end of all this chapter. Other part is always in there, his room. And this is the last he teach, and then he despair, but other part is in, here is no finish, this part. This is way of Bodhisattva, no finish. So then other part is they found in his room. So anyway, Shantideva, he denied it. He doesn't want to go back to University in Nalanda. He just never went back there again. So I cannot say he never went to Nalanda University. I don't know, but that time he denied it. But I don't know after that he went or not. He didn't went that time. He said, no, I'm not going there. So teaching is there. Okay, so then this is the everything, like you realize, you recognize emptiness, did not abide before the mind. Nothing is abide. everything is dissolved. The term says there's no other object and all is completely pacified into the non-reference state. As expressed above, we are invoking that very inconceivable no-door wisdom in the form of Mother Tara and praying to her to protect us by destroying every single seed of dualistic perception without exception. So that is the supplication to Tara. So supplication Tara is inconceivable no-door wisdom. So this is a no-door wisdom. Absolute Tara is no-door wisdom. Then of course the relative truth Tara is in the form of Mother Tara, and we pray to her to protect us by destroy every single seed of dualistic perception without exception. I think exception, without exception. Okay, so no. Next is knowing to the distinguish between the two truths. So next is like we have to know the true truth. The fifth subsection teach that we must know how to distinguish between the true truth, as the first line of the 6 verses reads. So you have to know, in here has like 2, 2, 5. Why is it 2, 2, 5? 2, 2, 5 is, do you know what means 2, 2, 5?
Well, the way this was organized in the book, Khenpo, was that part 2 is called Virtue in the Middle. So this is all part 2. Part 1 was Virtue in the Beginning. So that was all part 1. So this is part 2. So then we come down to part 2.2 was the first verse, and part 2.2.1 was the second verse. So now we're on to the 6th verse. So this in the book, the way it's organized is part 2, section 2, number 5. So that's the way it was organized.
Yeah, thank you very much. So everyone get what means 2, 2, 5?
It's just an arbitrary table of contents, really. It has no relevance to the actual 7 Taras.
Yes.
So are you saying all the verses are the second part, virtue in the middle? What was virtue in the beginning then? Can you say that again?
Well, virtue in the beginning was the homage and meaning of the title. So you don't have the book, I presume.
Yeah, I'm looking again. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, look at page 4, which is the table of contents. So then when we come to part 3, which is after this part that we're about to do, then that becomes the 7th Tara, the homage to the supplication to the 7th Tara.
Okay, so part 2.2. 2.2. So no, you get or no 2.2? I think everyone get 2.2. What means 2.2 and 5? That has meanings. Like you can go to the contents, the table contents, you recognize what means 2, 2, 5. This is organized, like followed by the table contents. It's when I make this commentary, so I put like organized like this way, you know. And when we teach like philosophy, like book, followed by the tradition, so have to organize like this way. So that's why it's the true is like mirror, like already Lance just talked, you know, I don't have to talk again. It's all the table contents is very clearly there, everything, what means 2, 2, 5.
In old school, the term is outlining.
Yes, outlining, yeah. So that is actually root text. We don't know exactly. We don't have that, but it's when I wrote commentary, so I organize like make like this way, you know, table contents, and make this way. It's easy to understand what the followed by meanings. Knowing to distinguish between the two truths, the fifth subsection teach that we must know how to distinguish between the two truths, as the first line of the sixth verses reads. So I don't know, we have time to talk. Yeah, I think still we have lots of time. Okay. Yom yanda ke tong la ne ze chang. Yanda ke tong la ne se chang. Even though the true nature is like that. So this, you know, it's other supplication to Tara when the translate, and this translation is a little bit different because even though the true nature is like that, it's other that, you know, the root text translation that didn't put it like this way. The why is like some people has here root text as a confusions. The confusion is people think, okay, so this is a yandag tolneza means you understanding absolute truth. You don't know the relative truth, so like that, you know. So that's why I didn't exactly follow what the Tibetan here says meaning, the word translation. I just try to like change a little bit there, you know. Otherwise, like people misunderstanding exactly, just follow the root text directly, and then someone has realized absolute truth. Why they don't know the relative truth? You know, you can see very subtle level, why you cannot see gross level. So like that, you know. That's why I main point is, even though the true nature is like that, means absolute truth is emptiness, but we do the main point is absolute truth is that, but we don't have that realized. True here refers to the atomic truth. So true is like refer to atomic truth, or the absolute nature of reality. When we are speaking from the context of atomic truth, even Milarepa said. So no, is I explain what means truth nature, okay, absolute truth nature. Not talking about you realize the truth nature. If you realize the truth nature, then of course you have to realize it in the after it's coming in other words. You know, this is followed by the verses and the verses. So break up is hard to know, but you have to, you know, link to verses and the verses. So this is referred to the absolute truth. When we are speaking from the context of atomic truth, even Milarepa said, my Lama Marpa appears to. So Milarepa, this is his, you know, mention about Milarepa. My Lama Marpa appears means Marpa Lota, what he tells him, but appears, but is not inherently rare. So this all the phenomena inherent is not exist. Marpa Lota told him. I know all appearances are so okay, but it's not inherently rare. I know all appearances are mine. So Marpa Lota say all this appearance is my mind. this mind that appears also is not inherently real. So the mind also inherently not exist, not real. So that is like same as yesterday, and I shared the teaching. It's exactly same, you know. So it's a random yindong is a self empty, other empty. So we talk about other empty, and the Jikin Songgon's view exactly follow like this way. I know mind to be emptiness. He said, my mind also emptiness. This lamana as mind. The mind is lamana as mind. Means empty means no nothingness. Not inherently real is introduced as emptiness. So it is introduced as emptiness, and this emptiness, not nothingness, not void, is introduced as spontaneous presence. So the main point is all its appearance is mind. Mind is emptiness. So emptiness, the mind is no nothingness. This lamana as mind, not inherently rare, is introduced as emptiness, and this emptiness is not nothingness. So then no nothingness, what is kind of emptiness? Not a void is introduced as spontaneous presence. Always there, that mind nature is. So then recognizing the spontaneously present awakening qualities, they are said to be 4 natural liberations. So that is the 4 different aspects mind has, 4 different aspects. So sometimes we call your mind is like, you know, spontaneously present. Sometimes we say awakening mind qualities. Sometimes like, so your mind is like luminosity. Sometimes your mind is like say emptiness. So there's 4 different ways to introduce the natural mind. Do you get 4 differences there? Tell me which 4 is there. Mind is the old appearance is mind. That is the first one. Mind is emptiness. That's the second one. Emptiness is no nothingness. So not a word is introduced as spontaneously, spontaneous. So that is the number 3rd. So presence is number 4. So that is called the 4 natural liberations. Do you get it now? All appearance is mind. That is 1. Mind is emptiness. That is the 2nd. But this emptiness is not nothingness, not a void is introduced as spontaneous. That's 3rd. That always present is number 4. Number 4. You get it or no? Everyone okay? You get it only 3?
Yes.
What's number 3? Number 3, emptiness
Emptiness.
is not nothingness.
No nothingness. Emptiness, nothingness. No
Emptiness
missing.
is nothingness.
Okay.
Emptiness is nothing.
Luminosity, I think.
That's number 3.
Luminosity.
Okay, so think about this mind that a person also is not inherently real, right?
Emptiness.
Oh, no. First one is I know all the appearances are mind. That is the first. The mind that a person also is not inherently real. That is the second. I know mind to be emptiness. Thus, lamana as mind, not inherently real, is introduced. So what is going on here is same tomba. Ngote tomba ten tomba tongjang mai but tomba fling drop the ngote. Fling drop is introduced as emptiness, and this is emptiness is no nothingness, not a void. So introduced as spontaneous. That is a fling drop. Third is spontaneous.
Like when you're in the bardo and then you merge with the Buddha and then spontaneous, you are liberated. Okay, anyway.
So then that spontaneous as is Lindrop Randor is like self-liberation.
Self-arisen.
Self-arising, I think self-arising. This spontaneously is self-arising. So that is the number 4. So now everyone get it, yeah? Very simple, easy. So that is the Marpa laws are introduced for Malarepa.
So the 4 were mind, emptiness, spontaneous, and self-arising. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
So then, Sutra Alamkara, it is stated, seeing that there is nothing outside of the mind. So no any other than mind. Everything is mind. Seeing that there is nothing outside of the mind. That means everything is mind. Same as the Malarepa say first one. So the second is, and then realize that even mind does not exist. That's the second. So third is like is different actually, and with that understand seeing that both are not real. So this is a like little bit different ways it goes, you know, not exactly the third is not exactly same what Malarepa says in this one, because this is a more focused emptiness. Other is not only emptiness, is spontaneous presence. That spontaneous as presence is arising. So here is the third one is different. Nor neither is to abide in the basic space of phenomena. The Dharma Dharta. Also Illustrious, Malarepa said, so another Malarepa says, no meditator, nothing to meditate on, no grounds, and no path on which to journey, no resultant chaos or wisdom, therefore no nirvana. What do you think, that?
Perfect.
Okay, that's great, perfect.
No mind, no nirvana. Nirvana is only in the mind.
It is beyond mind.
No, so that is actually usually we read in the In the Heart Sutra has like that. You know, no, or what that says like Heart Sutra. The statement is no origination, no path, no cessation, no liberation. You know, no cessation. They all is in the Heart Sutra exactly same thing. You just different words. So no Buddha, no beings means just all is become emptiness. It's all same. Just that means the same. Thus it is was spoken, but who is at that level where there is no meditation, no path, no result, and so forth. Milarepa is speaking of a person who has already actualized the absolute nature beyond any reference point. So that is like who has realized absolute truth. Then there's no meditator, nothing to meditate on, no ground, and no path on which is to journey, no restraint, chaos, or wisdom, therefore no nirvana. So for us, we all have this because right now we are in the relative truth. We don't have absolute truth realized. Who has realized absolute truth? Then just whatever here says exactly like that. Make sense or no? Okay, so no.
Yes.
Thanks. Then beyond or person who has, Milarepa said, speaking of a person who has already actualized the absolute nature beyond any reference point, beyond all subject-object phenomena, and beyond grasping at the rareness. In the Heart Sutra, where it is stated there are no eyes and so forth. This is the view from the context of atomic truth. So that is all absolute truth. Talking about absolute truth, and when we read the Heart Sutra, no eye, no nose, no conscience, they're talking about absolute truth, not talking about a relative truth. So if one does not understand the law of cause and effect that functions on the relative plane, it is a great mistake. So this is all is talking about absolute truth. So if one does not understand that this, the law of cause, we cannot think, oh, in the we are right now it's in the relative truth. We cannot say, oh, we don't have a cause and effect. We cannot say no Buddha, no meditation, because right now we are in the relative truth. So when you get absolute truth, then you already beyond this perception, already let go or gone. So we have right now all this relative truth. If one does not understand the law of cause and effect, their functions on the relative plane, then all this cause and effect, all the function is in the relative truth. When you get absolute truth, then all this cause and effect, that function is gone, no more. It is a great mistaking. So that is why the second line of this sixth verses read, they do not understand interdependence of cause and effect on the relative level. So then if we don't know the relative level, there's become big misunderstand, big problems. So we cannot say, oh, absolute truth, nothing exists. So then we can do whatever we want. That is a big mistake, So absolute truth is all beyond in that. But we are right now, we are in the relative truth. So we are not above the law. So we are under the law. Okay, so someone above the law, then that time is that person is like law not effective for that person. So law is not exist for that person. But we are under the law, so we have to follow the law. We cannot be misunderstood. From the point of view of relative truth, the Mahasiddha Telopa said, those dependently arising appearances, until you realize them to be unborn. Naropa, do not divorce yourself from the chariot of the two accumulations. So this is giving Naropa, Telopa give instruction for Naropa. What the Telopa give Naropa, the main important is, if you don't realize absolute truth, don't give up relative truth. You know, long as you are not above the law, it's stay under the law. Follow the law and the rules. So this dependently arising appearances, whatever arising, you know, dependently arising, until you realize them to be unborn. If you don't recognize this, all appearance is mind, mind is emptiness, emptiness mind is no nothingness, is spontaneously arising. If you don't know until that, you don't have realized that, so then you have to follow this true accumulation merit. Naropa, do not divorce yourself from the chariot of the true accumulations. So true accumulation is accumulation merit of wisdom. So this is followed by six parameters. Generosity, morality, patience is called accumulation of merit. Then meditation, wisdom is accumulation of wisdom, merit of wisdom. Joyful efforts both. So the main point is you follow six parameters. As expressed above, if we realize that unborn automatic truth, then we will have transcendent karma, the law of cause and effect. So then become already above the law, karma, cause, and effect. So above the law, karma, cause, and effect is like same as a natural disaster in this, you know, where we live. Someone is above in the clouds, that person, this natural disaster not affected. So that person is already above the cloud. Yeah. So until you don't get above the cloud, so you have to care for, you know, and you cannot say natural disaster not going to affect me. Because you have all these conditions, natural disaster conditions you have. Like one day you above the clouds, then natural disaster not going to affect you. Earthquake not affected you. Hurricane cannot affect you. Thunderstorm cannot affect you. Lightning cannot affect you. So tsunamis cannot affect you. Whatever going on in the earth, they're not going to affect you, right? So until you get above the clouds, you will have to follow. We have to think about this all natural disaster that can affect us. Then we will have transcend. We must continue. However, until we realize this automatic nature, we must continue to apply ourselves diligently to gathering the two accumulations. We absolutely must understand the law of cause and effect, what to accept and what to abstain from. So we have to know which is we have to accept, we have what we can have to give up. If we do not understand this, it is said that we will continue to suffer ceaselessly in samsara. To understand cause and effect, we must understand that the cause happiness and the cause of suffering. In short, this summarized in the four lengths taken from the Sutra of Instruction given to Angulimala. So this fourth statement is like Buddha giving to the Angulimala. So you know the Angulimala. We have a long story Angulimala. He killed 900 people. So he wanted to, I think 999. So maybe like that, 999. He needed to kill 1,000 people. So he made the finger mala, thumb finger mala. And do too, because someone made him is, wrong teaching, giving wrong method. So they have a couple of different stories. And the story is, Angulimala, what happened is he's a very intelligent person. And one teacher's disciple, the teacher is a very famous teacher. So the teacher is actually a great teacher, very good teacher. But then the teacher is going to somewhere else, journey. So he telling the Angulimala, that time his name is no Angulimala, different name. So the teacher give him to job. I'm going to far away journey. I have to go somewhere. So you take care my place. He told Angulimala, take care all this, students, and run the, his organization. Ask them to run, and until he come back. The reason is Angulimala is a very intelligent person, looking very nice, intelligent. Everything is perfect. So that's why this teacher give it all the teaching, many teachings for him. The teacher, I don't remember his name, but he really liked Angulimala. He give, his position for him to represent him, he going somewhere else. So that teacher went to other place. So that teacher's wife is really, attached to the Angulimala. So then she attached to him, and she tried to like get together. So Angulimala denied it, and she really upset. And then when her husband, the teacher, he come back, so she create scratch in her bodies, so cry and say, when teacher come back, he said, what happened? She told Angulimala, rob me. So then teacher very upset. He really angry Angulimala. So this teacher use, magic, kind of like some give a, that mantra or magic something for Angulimala. Then he giving wrong teaching. So he told him, so now you can going to very fast liberate. You are very special. He don't want to, he cannot fight because Angulimala is fighting. He cannot subdue him. Angulimala is strong, perfect. So then that teacher told him, you kill 9,000 people, you liberate. So he gives some black magic. The Angulimala is so angry and strong. So then he got knife and he killing all the people one by one. So he created mala, the finger mala, and he killing all the beings. So then he cares, and then he cannot. He need one person to kill. He cannot get anyone because people scared him, run away. Everyone who heard the name is him, is everyone scared. So Angulimala is like that time is the same as like pandemic in the right now we have this disease, same thing. That everyone close the door, no one going outside. Everyone stay home, So then one day his mother is somewhere else. Angulimala saw his mother, so he wanted to care his mother because he don't have a choice. He need one finger. So then he thinks he's going to liberate something. So then he chasing his mother. That time, Buddha is appeared to in the between his mother and him. So then Buddha is just walking smoothly. It's going different ways. You know, he leave mother and he chasing Buddha because he think better I care other people, not mother. You know. So he chasing Buddha. Buddha is very smoothly moving in the front of him. No rush, just very, you know, slowly, very slowly. But whatever he does, Angumala cannot cope. Angumala is running. Buddha is very smoothly, very slow moving. But still Angumala cannot get. Then Angumala told him, stop, you know, he calling that, stop and stop. He tired, you know. Then Buddha just said, my friend, I already stopped. Many lifetimes I stopped. You have to stop. So he heard that like it's very soft voice and gently and my friend. And he never heard like that before. And then he said, why are you talking about you stopped? I'm not stopped. So then Buddha said, I already stopped. I'm telling you, I stopped already many lifetimes killing other beings. So you have to stop the killing other beings. So then he heard that, and of course, at the same time, it's like my friend, my kind of like say like my brother or something, very beautiful words. So he heard these words, like he just naturally released his anger and left the or the knife also, you know, release his hand. And then he posted Buddha, and Buddha also told, he just said, I cannot follow you because I care so many people. I did so much no virtue. As Buddha said, no, everyone can regret. Everyone can change. So then Buddha teaching him, and he follow Buddha. So Angumala when one lifetime he get aha level. You know, aha level means selflessness of a person realized. So purify all karma. And then during that time, he have to get some through his karma. He purify his karma because when he went to the bird, bake the food, people recognize his Angumala, and that everyone beat him, and Angumala is nearly dead. So Buddha comes blessing him and you know, take him. So told him, why you don't fight them? He said, I practice my patience. You know, I tolerant because I harm so many people. No, I don't want to harm anyone. So Buddha said, no, you see, your all karma is happening there. So you harm so many beings, you purify karma, but the karma is like exhausted there. So all karma is happening in his life because the people beating him, you know. That he don't have to carry that karma is future life, and if he take that karma is future life, if he reborn to the realms, many lifetimes suffering, but he purify all karma, and the karma is happening in this life is become just karma is become very small, tiny. It's already exhausted there. Okay, so that's the story. And then also Angumala, when he is alive at that time, you know, he went to bake the food, and when he coming back into the home, and he saw in the forest people crying. So he saw one lady is crying. She delivered a baby. She cannot deliver a baby, and another person there, and they have a horse or something working, or you know, and they're crying and suffering, and she's going to nearly die because she cannot deliver a baby. So Angumala, he cannot do anything. He just so kind of he want to help. He don't know how to help much. So then he ran away. He told them, stay. You know, I'm going to talk to Buddha. So So he ran away all the way to see Buddha. So then he said, the Buddha, please help, and someone die. Please help. So release the release death. Then Buddha told him, you have to release death because you kill many people. You can do that. So then Angulimala said, oh, I can help them. Buddha told him, you really want to help them? He said, yes, I really want to help them because I kill so many people. I am so many people. I really want to help them. Okay, Buddha said, you have good intention. So no, go back and tell them, I never harm any beings. So that's all my virtuous accumulation merit. Safely delivery baby, safely mother, safe child. That's all my virtues, dedication you, and the safe mother, safe kids. So go back, tell them. He said, no, I cannot do that. I have so many people in my life. So then Buddha said, okay, change. When I become monk, and I never harm anyone, I put all my effort to practice Dharma. So that all virtuous deeds is I dedicate you. So that dedication, safe mother, safe child delivery, peacefully. So say that, go there. So he said, okay, I'm going to do that. So he didn't run away. And when he get there, he just extremely, really his heartly and pray. So that baby is born there right away because his strong dedication, prayer. So he saved the life. He saved the life. That is like purify his karma because he cares so many other beings. Then of course other people beat him, so he tolerant, he practice patience. So then all the karma is exhausted through his practice. All karma is purified in the life. Do you get or no? Okay, so then that time Buddha giving this statement, here's 4 different statements. I share this next time, okay? Next week. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you, Khenpo. Beautiful teachings,
Thank
Khenpo.
Thank you,
Great
everyone.
story.
You have questions, please ask questions. No,
There's one in the chat from Thomas.
some questions
Thank you,
I cannot.
Khenpo.
Okay, I'll let you know. Some questions I cannot give answer until I enlightenment. Your
Time
questions
to
is really.
practice patience.
So your questions are respect and very deep and very profound. I cannot give answer because it's beyond the words, beyond the perception and beyond thought.
You have to hurry up and come back and give us the answers, Khenpo.
Yeah. So actually, who ask question and we both have to enlightenment, then they have answers. Even I enlighten and then give answer. Of course, you don't know answer again. Answer is complicated there still. So that's why we have to enlightenment. If you wanted to get a good answer, perfect answer, you have to find yourself. So how do you find yourself? Meditate, practice yourself. You can get your answer. Some questions I can give answer. Okay, any questions there?
Thomas, did you want to ask your question that was in the chat?
No, I'll go meditate.
You're okay? Okay.
I have a question about the relative truth. So if absolute truth is emptiness, then relative truth is like, I don't know, the law you were saying, or what was the relative truth?
Relative truth is like right now, we do say, okay, do this good or don't do this is bad, right? That is a relative truth.
Cause and effect?
Yeah, cause and effect. Yes, cause and effect. and then what we seeing things, what we doing. This everything is relative truth.
Okay, okay.
So everyone is a dissolved caution, right? The thing everyone thing is have to realize.
I think.
Can you hear me?
Mm.
Can you hear me, Khenpo?
Just barely.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, no, it's just for the person that asked about the Ashi practice earlier. She was reading about she was reading in the metta versions of Ashi, but if she goes to the yoga sadhana, the daily yoga sadhana, the line is has more explanation. It says dispel injurious and damaging thoughts and energy loss. So maybe she will be able to understand that one. Okay, dangerous thought is explained as injurious and damaging, as an energy loss.
Okay.
Just so to the original baby yoga, yes.
Mm. Okay, thank you, Avira. David say, my teacher, my teacher.
Khenpo, also, if no one has any more questions, I just wanted to say to Marilyn, who many of you know is celebrating the beginning of her retirement, that I wish her a very joyful and productive retirement, where she gets to do all those things that she never had time before. I know Khenpo will say to practice, 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 but also I wish that she gets to enjoy her family, her friends, and overall that she gets to enjoy herself, the beauty of what she is. Hi, nice. A very merry retirement. Okay, bye.
Thank you. You're so sweet.
Happy retirement, Marilyn.
Yes, thank you.
Happy another birthday.
That's my granddaughter's birthday. I forgot to take it down.
No, I mean it's like you just change something. It's your is a retirement birthday.
Oh yes.
It's a birth, retirement birthday.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Marilyn.
Congratulations, Marilyn.
You done so. You already done the or some sort of things. No, you can practice Dharma.
Yeah, I know you're making a full-time.
You retire for the spiritual. You retire only worldly. Okay.
Yeah.
You have to know that.
Don't worry.
No.
Full-time. I have a full-time job.
Full-time job. You get
Khenpo
full-time
just
job.
hire
Dharma.
full-time job.
After enlightenment, I'm no hire. You have to hire yourself. So take care, Dharma.
Congratulations, Marilyn. Happy retirement.
Thank you. Khenpo, Gail put a question in the chat. Do you want to read it? It's quite long. Or do you want me to read it?
What is I read? Oh, you read. It's really long.
Okay. If you ask, what is the difference between mother and father deity practices? In order to achieve enlightenment, it's necessary to have two things, which are most prominent in these practices. One is the achievement of an illusory body, and the other, the achievement of clear light consciousness. The deity practices which put the most emphasis on indicating the various methods for achieving an illusory body are known as Father Tantra. Therefore, the difference in classification is made in terms of which receives the main emphasis in the practices, either illusory body or clear light.
Wow, so that's a really long question. I'm going to set this answer.
The first part of it was clarifies it. The first part says, "Can Khenpo talk about this sometime?" Not now.
Okay. So I'm going to. We have to set that answer first.
Yeah, and I think you skipped a bit of it. I talked about the Mother Tantra. The deity practice, which puts the most emphasis on indicating the different ways to develop the clear light consciousness, are known as Mother Tantra. So it's the difference.
Okay.
Talking about the different meanings of clear light consciousness versus the other tantras, which is illusory body. You know.
Well, that is a.
Sometime we talk about that.
Sometime we talk. Yeah, that's a really long question. And sometime we talk next time. Okay.
Doesn't have to be next time.
I save already your question.
Anyway, if you can't figure out the other ones, you have to be enlightened first for all the other questions today. You can handle this one.
Yeah, I can handle other questions. Any other questions? I have to go back to Sheda, like somewhere, not the philosophy and the Vajrayana Sheda somewhere. So then give answers this. Tantra teachings, like somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone has a question or no?
Okay, bye. Thank you very much.
Bye. So now we're going to then, Gary, your answer is we do next time, okay? We are look carefully and think about.
I know that you wouldn't know it. That's why when I start first.
So now, then we're going to do dedication, yeah? So dedication, and I'm going to chant, so you can do some, just wishing, you know, I'm going to chant the dedication prayer. So also you can just mentally chant whatever you can, and I'm going to do the Amitabha short one first. Ma Om Sara Sanje Nama Daye Daye Sejo Duje Jembo Dang Yong De Seban De Jen Do Nam Lai Sanje Sanse Pa Min Kor Jiko De Jen Om Sara Pa De Me Pa Ye De Wa Ji Ye Sa Ve Yen Gan De Da yen de ne se bu jirma da je wa yin je par mai ju par ter jine nan de jar dong jo de ge da ge mo lan da ba de so je san sen dam je ke me ro bar sin je la de so de ya da ben za de ya Rinpoche, ma je ba nan je jur je, je ba nyam ba me ba yang, gong ne gong den pe wa ri shu, so nam de ye nam je zi ba, to na nyen pe da na ban ze de ji ga na je ba lo ju ba. Siben tolen joa joa re jo Yambara Bave Jadara Jimba Tangana Zambo Deyan Deyen Deda Genje Jiza Dalo Jengewan Deda Dam Jera Chiza Genze Genje Jeje Je Dendra Nela Wanda Ndigong Barenjen Barje Demba Zende Jedo Desangong Ben Thank you, everyone. So now we finish it today. Today is a Sunday, right?
Yeah.
So next week continue finish. Next week we're going to finish the whole thing. Maybe only Saturday can finish this whole thing. Not much left. Sunday we can think about what we can do. And then Friday, don't forget Friday, okay?
No, it's
1
that one.
o'clock East Coast time. So join everyone. And then you can also ask to join all your friends, everyone. Thanks. If anyone has questions, you can, no more questions, already we finished your questions. So see you tomorrow. So practice.
See you
Bye,
tomorrow.
everybody.
If
See you
you come
next week.
tomorrow, who come tomorrow?
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Khenpo.
See you
Congratulations,
tomorrow.
Marilyn. Thank you,
See you.
everyone.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you,
Thank
Khenpo.
you.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Bye.
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 Okay. And